Good morning. And welcome to our Sunday worship service. I am Zena Hartung, and I asked AI this morning, is it going to be a good day? AI said, it's going to be about the usual, and then I asked my dog, and he said, let's just go for a walk. But by the time I asked the bees in the garden, yeah, I got a positive answer. It's going to be a good day. I'll be your celebrant this morning. I'd like to extend a special welcome to all those who are joining us for the first time. We're very glad you're here. If you've come in person, we hope you have received a welcome packet with an information card. If you don't have one, please ask for the following the service. Fill it out, put it in the offering basket, drop it in the office. Our welcoming committee members have yellow name tags and can answer any questions. Whether you are new or not, please consider staying for coffee and conversation. Oh, and potluck after the service. And downstairs in the fellowship hall. And now let's say our words of welcome together. Whether this is your first or 1,000th Sunday with us, and whether you strolled, rolled, zoomed, ran, or danced in, we are glad you chose to join us. We are one people of many beliefs, identities, origins, personalities, and cultures. All are welcome here. And now we will take a moment to say hello across the technical divide. First, we're going to show the people joining us on Zoom. If you're at home, please turn on your camera. People at home, wave. Now, people who are attending in the service in our building, it's your turn to wave. Okay. We do have a couple of announcements. First off, I'm going to mention that we want to help get out the vote, and there'll be an opportunity to learn how to register Idaho voters on Saturday, August 15th at 1 p.m. And this is being led by Pat. Yes, raise your hand. Very good. Pat first. So you can contact him. But this is not limited to members of our community here. Anyone who might be interested in learning can join. And now Lisa Salisbury, there you are.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, related to that last announcement, I am volunteering for Idahoans United for Women and Children, or Women and Families, to do voter IDing for Prop 1, better known as the Reproductive Freedom and Privacy Act. So many of you may have received an email from me. If you're an Idaho voter and you plan to vote in favor of this bill in November, or even if you don't, I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'm doing voter IDing. I can do it on my phone. So if you haven't gotten in touch with me, please come and see me in the fellowship hall. I would love to count you among the folks who've expressed whether or not they will be voting for Prop 1 in November. And then the other announcement I wanted to make is on behalf of the Month of Sundays Committee. August has a 5th Sunday, and that collection is going to be going to the Basic Needs Program at the University of Idaho that helps provide students who are struggling with basic household items and food supplies. And so we are also, in addition to collecting money for them, I'd like to invite you to bring 4 items that are especially of need. They are granola bars, travel-sized deodorants, what are the others? Winco gift cards. So Winco gift cards in the amount of $25, $30, small denomination Winco gift cards. And then the last item is ready mixed single serving protein drinks. And so if you have any of those or you'd like to contribute any of those, please bring them to church on August 30th, or you can bring them before then and I'll set up a collection box in the lobby downstairs. And the one other thing that they are also collecting is either new or gently used bed linen, so pillows, flat sheets, fitted sheets, comforters of all sizes, so twin, full, queen, king. If you, like me, have a closet full of bed linen that you're not using anymore, this would be a great place to donate it. Please bring it freshly laundered and put it in the box that I will place downstairs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. Any other announcements? Here end the announcements. So, territorial acknowledgement. The land on which our church is built is part of the ancestral homeland of the Nimipu, the people, and mistakenly called the Nez Perce, or pierced noses, by French-speaking trappers and traders. We acknowledge the land is held in sacred kinship since time immemorial. The land and its people suffered immeasurable trauma brought by Euro-American society, and we're working with its resilient peoples to show respect and contribute to the healing and nurturing of this Hitwit-Weetis, precious land, and all its peoples. We are hoping that folks joining us via Zoom have a chalice or candle to light and something to light it with. Let's light our chalices together. Light of truth and the points of love, we gather to seek and seek to share.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. I'm the Reverend Shelly Thompson. My pronouns are she and her, and I am so excited and delighted to be the interim minister here at the UU Church of the Palouse. What a wonderful place this is. I'm already so impressed by all of you and the incredible ministry you're doing, and our wonderful little town. I went over to the co-op the other day and ended up running into about 12 of you, I think. I was thinking we need coffee at the co-op as kind of a regular part of my office hours. I imagine all I have to do is show up and there you'll be. So I really appreciate the very warm welcome you gave me last week and everything the children did with Ginger to help prepare for me and all they're doing today for our potluck. It's going to be fun. I hope you can stick around for that. And today I just would like us to get to know each other a little better. So I'm going to be sharing with you a bit more about my background and how I came to Unitarian Universalism, and also what I love about it, what I feel is our greatest strength, and the work that we do together, why it matters so much to me. And I know you'll agree and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about covenantal beloved community. I can tell that you embrace that, you have it in your hearts, and you practice it together. And that is one of the reasons I'm so happy to be among you, because it makes me happy. It's my greatest joy to be in community with you. It is so wonderful to be together. So wonderful. I'm going to take a couple of minutes and say hi to each other in the sanctuary and hi to Zoom. Greet your neighbor for a moment. We'll do that special today. Hi, everybody. Now, please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing, Morning Has Come.
Okay, now let's take a moment to engage in the practice of generosity together. For those of you able to make a financial contribution, the logistics are on your screen. We typically give away all the cash from our Sunday offering to local charities whose missions align with our values. It's a program called the Month of Sundays. This month, the recipient is the Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies program at the U of I. To donate, please indicate Month of Sundays on your check or from the online drop-down menu. In the spirit of love and for the continuing work of this church, we will now take some time to practice generosity together. Members of the lay pastoral ministry team lead us in sharing our joys and sorrows most Sundays. You can contact any member of the team at any time if you'd like to visit. Their names and contact information are on the church website. They also invite you to a brief holding circle, a simple gathering in front of the heart sculpture immediately after the service. so that we can hold with you whatever is in your heart. Lay Pastoral Minister Elizabeth Berlinger will lead us in joys and sorrows today.
Our time of joys and sorrows is such precious time. It is a sacred space where we hold one another. It was one of the first things that caused me to burst into tears when I went to my first UU service. The idea that we would care about one another's joys and sorrows and share them touched me so deeply when I had felt so isolated before. Let us take a couple of moments of silence to think about how these simple, generous gifts of sharing our joys and sorrows, of being present with one another, enriches our lives and helps us create the world in which we all want to live, and helps us experience what we hope one day all people everywhere will experience, this kind of all-encompassing love and connection that allows us to know in our hearts we're never alone. Amen.
Summertime and the living's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma's good looking. So hush, little darling, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. Until that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you, with Daddy and Mommy standing by. Summertime and the living's easy. Fish are jumping the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little darling, don't you cry. Don't you cry.
Thank you. Give me chills. Who am I? Have you ever really asked yourself that question? Not the easy version, not your name, your profession, your family role or accomplishments, your politics, or even your religious preference. But underneath all of that, who are you? Who am I? It's one of those existential human questions, and as Unitarian Universalists, we've chosen a faith that doesn't give us easy answers to life's biggest questions. We agree to live the questions together. The Quaker educator Douglas Steere offered a wonderful challenge to the question, who am I? He said that eventually, inevitably, the question becomes, whose am I? Because there's no identity outside of relationship, he said. He means we come to understand ourselves and our humanity through our relationships. Identity, meaning, and purpose are all deeply connected to our relationships, for better and for worse. Nobody's perfect, and no one comes through all of this life without having it leave a mark. So Steere asks us some more questions. Who needs you? Who loves you? To whom are you accountable? Whose life is altered by your choices? With whose lives is your own life all bound up in ways obvious or invisible? Whose am I? Whose are you? Whose are we together? These questions point us toward the nature and purpose of covenantal, beloved community. My life is bound up with yours. I am yours and you are mine. We are accountable to each other. What happens to you matters to me. What I do affects you. Belonging is mutual, and belonging creates responsibility. Years ago, when I was in seminary, one of my beloved professors, Dr. Mark Hicks, asked our class another question that I've kept with me ever since. Who loved you here? Who loved you here? Who loved you to this place and this moment in your life? Who encouraged you? Who challenged you? Who forgave you? Who made room for you? Who saw something in you that perhaps you hadn't yet seen in yourself? Who loved you here? the assumption being somebody or somebodies must have helped us all along the way. And when I first heard that question, I thought immediately of my parents, Brenda and Virgil. My parents loved me here, and it was not easy for any of us. It means a lot more because it was so hard. I was adopted from foster care when I was nearly 2 years old, and I'd already experienced the loss of my foster mother, to whom I was deeply attached. And today we understand so much more about early childhood trauma and attachment than people did back then. My parents certainly didn't have that understanding. They had a lot of love, and they were told it would be enough. But I was not always an easy child to love or understand. There was conflict, there was hurt and anger, and therapy, quite a lot of therapy for me, the identified patient. It would have been more helpful if they'd gone too. Might have gone quicker. And there were many years where loving each other was challenging, but they kept showing up. They kept trying. They did not give up on me. They didn't send me back. Eventually, once I was an adult, we had to do something that I now understand is essential to every lasting, healthy relationship. We had to repair. We had to revisit old hurts to understand each other better. We had to listen differently. We had a lot of things to forgive and a number of things to accept. We had to learn who we had each become instead of continuing to relate only to the people we had once been. And our relationships changed because of this work. We did the work to transform them. My mom became my best friend, and my dad and I became each other's biggest fans. And after my growing up years of feeling judged and misunderstood and shamed by him, after so many good years of repair and connect and great relationship, the last words my father ever spoke to me were, "You are precious." I cherish that. It represents so much. My parents taught me something that I didn't have language for at the time. Love isn't merely care and affection. Love is a practice. It's showing up. Love is trying again. Love is telling the truth. Love is making room for another person's becoming. And love is repairing what is broken. It's true in families, and it's true in communities like this one that place love at the center. This is so beautiful. I love it. I love the jet pig. Sometimes when we talk about beloved community, we can make it sound almost idyllic, but it sure isn't. Real community is made of wonderful, complicated, imperfect people like us. People with histories and wounds, people who see the world differently, people who annoy each other, people who disappoint one another, people who make mistakes, people who might even eat their classmates from time to time. I remind myself frequently, the humans are humaning again. The humans are humaning. Oh, goody, we get to practice some more. Woo, yay. Right relationship doesn't mean perfect relationship. Far from it. It means that when something happens between us, our connection matters enough that we are willing to attend to it and do the work. We don't simply disconnect and walk away. We practice curiosity before judgment. Well, okay, sometimes we practice after the judgment, but that's okay. We have to keep trying and keep practicing. We speak directly to one another rather than creating triangles around each other. We're circle people, not triangle people. We listen for understanding rather than agreement, simply or listening just so that we can prepare our rebuttal. And we learn to say, I may have misunderstood you. I was hurt by what happened. Ouch. Thank you. I didn't realize the impact of what I said. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Can we try again? And those may be some of the holiest words that we can ever speak to one another. Because covenant is not a promise that we will never disappoint or hurt one another. Covenant is a promise about what we will do when we disappoint and hurt one another. We return, we repair, we recommit, we offer grace and mercy, we forgive, and we begin again in love. That is the practice of right relationship. And that is our true mission in all of our Unitarian Universalist communities. It's our true mission and our most sacred work. It transforms us so that we may contribute to the transformation of the world. It's our greatest blessing. For much of my life, I struggled to find a community where I could truly belong as my authentic, imperfect, work-in-progress self. And then in my late 30s, I finally found Unitarian Universalism in response to an existential crisis. I was deeply discouraged about the world. That hasn't changed. I felt small and helpless, powerless to do anything about it, and most of all, I felt completely alone. My father kept insisting that I needed to go to church. Some church, any church, he didn't care what kind of church. He just said, church is where you'll find a community of people who care. And of course I resisted this because I didn't believe there was any place calling itself a church where I could find community. Very skeptical of that. But then my cousin's friend told me about the Unitarians. And I went to a Unitarian Universalist service and I discovered something totally unexpected. My people. Ah, huzzah! Spread the good news. We do exist. Woo! We need to tell more people, right? I became involved. I became a member. I joined a small group ministry, miracle of miracles. Small groups are the place to be. I hope you all give yourself that opportunity. So wonderful. And I began to understand that belonging isn't simply finding a room full of people who are like you. Belonging is so much more interesting and complicated than that. Belonging means being known and allowing yourself to know others more fully. Someone notices when you're missing. Someone sits beside you when your life falls apart. Someone brings the casserole, stacks the chairs, or makes the coffee. Somebody notices the newcomer sitting alone and says, "Come sit with us." Some of these things may seem small, but they are acts of service that we give generously to one another. Belonging is a gift we give one another. This is how community is made and remade every single time we gather. That belonging that we experience isn't just something our community gives us, It's a gift we give one another. We often talk about community as though it's a static thing. I found my community, I belong to this community. But it's true that community is also a verb. It's something we do. It's something we practice. It's something we build every time we choose connection over isolation or retreat, curiosity over certainty, and we make room for another person at the table. Here at UUCP, we co-create this intentional faith community, and every single person here and on Zoom participates in making community what it is and in forming together, collaborating on what together we are becoming. Certainly not just the minister or the board or a team or a committee. Absolutely every one of us. So the question isn't only, do I belong here? It's a good place to start. We ask, do I belong here? And then there's another question. How am I helping someone else belong here? When we ask, is this community meeting my needs? We can also ask, whose needs am I noticing? And when we think, why doesn't somebody do something about that? There's that deeply inconvenient question. Am I the somebody I'm waiting for? It doesn't mean endlessly sacrificing ourselves for others, overachievers, I mean you, who know who you are. We want to have good boundaries and balance. A healthy community needs healthy boundaries. And right relationship includes our relationship with ourselves. When you stop overdoing, it actually invites and makes more space for other people to come in and join you. It's a little counterintuitive, but it's true. I had to learn how to take good care of myself and be in right relationship with myself too. I belong to myself, I love myself, and I'm accountable to myself. Interdependence is not codependence. Strong individuals and strong communities are not opposites, contrary to what the world would have you believe. We become more fully ourselves through our relationships and through the hard work of humaning. And sometimes beloved community asks something countercultural of us again. Sometimes it asks us to stay at the table when it's really hard. Not if you're being harmed. Right relationship never requires sticking around for harm. But sometimes what we're experiencing isn't harm, it's discomfort. It's difference, misunderstanding, conflict, the ordinary friction of being human together. And in those moments, community may very well ask us to remain curious, to listen more than we speak, and to remember that we ourselves hope to be regarded as more than the sum of our mistakes. We need places where people can practice being loving humans together. I always think to myself, what if Congress operated this way? What would that do to our country? I mean, we have some suggestions. We need places where disagreement doesn't automatically mean exile, where accountability doesn't mean humiliation, and where people can learn and change and grow. In fact, we expect it. Where we can begin again in love. With a good covenant and a strong, clear mission, Unitarian Universalist congregations can be just such a place. This one sure is. Not because we're especially enlightened people. That's not it. It's because we humbly, courageously commit to practicing together. That's why they're called spiritual practices and not spiritual perfects. Practice week after week, conversation after conversation. We practice living our shared values and creating the world we dream about. That's extraordinary. What we do here is absolutely extraordinary. I find there are very few places, I've never been, any place quite like this, with these values and this commitment to putting the focus where it belongs on the real work of good relationship and making the world a better place. We're so lucky to be here. We are so blessed to be together, and we are such a blessing to one another and to this community. Oh, Moscow needs us, right? You've seen it, you know it. There's so much good that we do here. We matter to this community. It's good to know. We know that the circle of community cannot stop with the people we already know and love. A community that only exists for the comfort of those already inside eventually becomes a club, perhaps with far too many acronyms. Sometimes we're guilty of that. But when we talk about practicing radical welcome, we're asking who's not yet in the circle. Who might come through the doors carrying the quiet question, is there a place for someone like me here? What is going to be the answer to that question? Probably not our mission statement, probably not our website, certainly not the sermon. We will, all of us. We are the answer. The person who says hello, the person who remembers their name, the person who invites them to sit down, the person who becomes curious about their story and listens, the person who makes room. That's how the circle widens, one connection at a time. So I want to return to that question my professor asked all those years ago. Who loved you here? Who loved you here? How did you become such humble, brave, courageous people to come and choose to participate in a beloved community like this one? Who loved you into this moment? Maybe a parent, maybe not. Maybe a teacher, a friend, a partner, a therapist, a neighbor, or a community, perhaps a congregation somewhere. Maybe someone believed in you before you could believe in yourself. Maybe someone simply refused to give up on you. Hold that person and those people in your heart for a moment. Thank them. Thank them. Thank them. And now, turn the question around. Whom are you loving here? Whom are you loving here? Who needs your encouragement, your attention, your honesty, your forgiveness, your invitation, your willingness to listen? Who needs you to pull up another chair? Because somewhere, perhaps even in this room, someone is wondering whether they belong. Someone's carrying grief we cannot see. Someone is lonely. Someone has made a mistake and wonders whether there's a way back. Someone's waiting to discover the community can be different. And we can offer to love all of those beloveds into our circle. And that, I believe, is the sacred work of community. The true meaning of radical welcome. Not achieving perfect harmony, not agreeing about everything, but creating relationships strong enough to hold our differences, building trust strong enough to tell different truths, practicing humility strong enough to admit when we're wrong, offering grace spacious enough for people to grow, and cultivating love strong enough to keep widening the circle. There is no beloved community somewhere out there waiting for us to discover it. There's only the beloved community that we human beings choose to create together every single day. Let's create this one together. Thank you for welcoming me in. Let's practice our right relationships. Let's repair what needs repairing. Let's notice who's waiting at the edge. Pull up some more chairs. Stay curious. Keep showing up. It's sometimes hard in transition work to stay curious and keep showing up. Let us continue to love one another here over and over and over again. And let us carry that love beyond these walls, because none of us got here alone, and none of us is meant to travel from this place alone. We belong to one another and to all that we will together become. May we keep widening the circle with love at the center. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
All right, let's sing 1020 Wo Ya Ya. I need some percussionists.
All right.
Show of hands. Who wants to play some stuff? Okay, cool.
You like this song? You like Wo Ya Ya? Oh, listen here.
Okay, Mary, can you, I need you to hold the six notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somebody else, here we go. All right, rock and roll. Take the rock out. Okay. I know this is a musically inclined road here. All right, everybody else can sing. Right here. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm sorry, you can actually stand back up again if in body or spirit to sing Our musical benediction, one of my favorites, There Is a Love. Please join us in the words for extinguishing our chalice. We raise sparkless, but not light the glow gently in our hearts. May it light our paths as we have lit place. May it guide our way until we are together again. Dear ones, go from this place to the potluck. And once we disperse for the day, go out into life, open to life, expecting to love, and prepared to serve. Go in peace, my darlings. Go being makers of peace. Amen.